This meeting of the Mawa Board of Education is open to members of the public to be physically present. Members of the public that attend will be asked to follow the same procedures as all other visitors to our schools. Those procedures can be found on the agenda page of our website. Additionally, the board meeting will be live, streamed for viewing purposes only. Anyone wishing to view the meeting may do so via Zoom. The webinar ID for this meeting is 857-279-11961, and the required password is 582727. To allow for adequate distancing, the meeting location has been changed to the Mawa High School Auditorium, 50 Ridge Road. Roll call, Mr. Bleeker.
Dr. Park.
Here.
Ms. Saccone.
Here.
Mr. Copeland.
Here.
Mr. De Silva.
Here.
Mr. Denise.
Here.
Mr. Gallo.
Here.
Ms. Conoco.
Here.
Dr. Morthy.
Here.
And Mr. Kazmarski.
Here. Adequate notice of agenda of this meeting has been provided to the Ridgewood News and the Record, specifying that the Mawa Board of Education will meet on May 26, 2021 in the Mawa High School Auditorium, 50 Ridge Road, Mawa, New Jersey. A copy was filed with the Township Clerk. Please rise for a salute to the flag. Mr. Gallo, would you please lead us? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we are going to actually move the executive session to the end of the meeting, as we have a lot of folks here and wouldn't want to keep you waiting. So, with that, can I please get a motion to go into, I'm lost tonight. A motion to reconvene the public action meeting. We don't need that, sorry. Agenda questions. There we go. Please limit your questions at this time to resolutions on a new business on this agenda. As a matter of fairness, you are asked to limit your questions to no more than one and your remarks to no longer than 3 minutes. If you are here representing a group, please identify yourself, the group, and your position in the group. If you are here as an individual, please give us your name and address. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes. Please specify the resolution you are referring to in your question. And please have a motion to open the meeting to the public. Mr. De Silva, seconded by Ms. Conoco. Anyone? Okay, seeing none, can I please get a motion to close the meeting to the public? Mr. Gallo, seconded by Ms. Saccone. Dr. Fitz, do you have a report?
Yes, I do have a report. Thank you very much. At this moment in time, I can best describe this as a flight. We're on our final approach to landing for the school year. We still have a lot of work to do, but we're doing it exceptionally well. I get a chance to visit the schools, and I see instruction taking place with children and exceptional learning opportunities for them. They're adapting well to the new environment of getting outside, engaging in educational activities, and having lunch. I've also had the opportunity to observe our teachers. Our teachers are collaborating with each other. They are sharing information about what they've learned, what they've acquired, and how they can do things for next year. While we're planning events to celebrate children, as recent as this morning, we had an outdoor breakfast for the seniors, and they truly enjoyed it. I heard some comments saying this could be a yearly event. They found a new way to have a grand experience with children. I'm observing the staff, the executive team. They are working extremely hard at closing out all of the elements of a school year. And at the same time, they are opening up a school year and also giving attention to summer activities. They are busy. This is not a relaxation time. And I just want to say to each and every one of you, you've done a remarkable job all this entire school year. You can see there's a lot of flowers here, and it's not like it's going to be a funeral. This is a celebration. And that I'm pleased that someone was so thoughtful to think about how they want to celebrate all the hard work that you've been doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bleeker, do you have a report?
Yes, Mr. Kazmarski, 2 items to report on are just 2 additions that have been made to the agenda since it was posted online, as we have in the last few meetings. I will read into the record items that have been added for the benefit of anybody participating remotely. The first add is agenda item on tonight's agenda 18I, an appointment of resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Mawa Board of Education approves the appointment of Jennifer Rupert as teacher of music at Joyce Kilmer School and Rampo Ridge Middle School from September 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. Salary to be column A, step 4, $54,431, pending certification and employment verification. The other item that has been added is under agenda item 18DD, professional staff that will be assigned and working the Mawa ESY self-contained summer program. 1 additional paraprofessional was added since the agenda was posted. That's Miss Janine Whitmore. No other additions for tonight's agenda. That's my report this evening.
Great, thank you very much. Mr. Farrer.
I first want to just add to Kyle's report because we also have 18II. We have an addition of a teacher for a booster program, Jennifer Chung.
Thank you.
That was a late addition. Okay, so we have a lot to celebrate this evening, as Dr. Fitz already inferred. So the first piece is we have 2 retirements on this evening's agenda. 18A, we have Lauren Rosen, who is a teacher of special education at Mahwah High School. She has over 26 years of teaching experience in the state of New Jersey, 21 of which have been here in Mawa. Ms. Rosen began her journey at Rampo Ridge Middle School, teaching social studies and science courses before moving up to Mawa High School in 2013. At the high school, Ms. Rosen has taught physics and biology while actively supporting students in all content areas as she delivered instruction and learning strategies. Ms. Rosen has always been a champion for students. She has consistently advocated for what is best for all students in and out of the classroom. And when asked what she loved the most about teaching, Ms. Rosen recently stated, "I love being able to empower my students to be the best they can be and to believe in themselves. I love the wonderful collaboration I have had with so many great teachers over the years and the impact we have made on students' lives." Ms. Rosen's colleagues will surely miss her, and we wish her only the best as she spends time with her new grandchild, and she plans to travel the world. So we wish her the best. Secondly, we have another retirement of Mary Solari, who has been instrumental in really acting as a lead for our paraprofessional cohort. We cannot thank Mary enough for her 19 years of service to the Mawa School District. In her role, she has served as a leader to the paraprofessional cohort, advocating for progress of paraprofessionals in our programs and being an honest voice on behalf of this group. She is leaving us for a relaxing retirement with her husband, her daughter, and her pet, Lucy, spelled Loosie. Mary Solari has been a kind, authentic, and strong support for all the students she has impacted. Mary always has a positive attitude and is optimistic no matter the challenge. She possesses a vested interest in the school district, and particularly, she believes in the power of the paraprofessional's voice. She has interfaced regularly with our central office team on all matters involving our paraprofessionals. Her shoes will forever be impossible to exactly fill, but we wish her well in this next venture. It is very, very much deserved for Mary. So we appreciate Ms. Rosen and Mrs. Solari for their service to the Mahwah Township Public Schools. Next, the board members have a Mindful Mawa small kit in front of you in a colored bag. We are excited to announce the official launch that occurred this past Monday, May 24th, of the new website, hashtag Mindful Mawa, which can be found at mindfulmawa.org. A special thank you to Ruth Davis for facilitating this work and all their staff members who were involved. So as I shared, board members have a small kit at their seats that was shared with our staff members this past Monday to celebrate this launch. And Ruth dropped those off in my office, and she wanted me to give one to each of you. You'll notice we have a lot of hiring occurring right now. At the last meeting, I mentioned that we were in the height of hiring season, and we have 15 new hires on this evening's board agenda for next school year. I want to thank our building principals who are here in the audience who have helped expedite the process. When we find someone we really like, we work in tandem with securing that person to work here. So I'm really excited that we've been able to create a partnership between central office and obviously our building leadership. And as promised, our summer school is fully staffed. So you'll see all of the teachers and paraprofessionals and leadership positions listed on tonight's board agenda. Has each of our 4 programs fully ready to go for summer 2021. So you'll see a lot of boxes and flowers, and we've invited a lot of great people here in the audience to do some overt celebration of their contributions this evening, because we wanted to spend some time, really celebrating, our in-district heroes. And all of the people we have invited here this evening serve, or we believe serve that purpose. So the first, we have our Mawa Champions for the Children volunteers. It's an all-volunteer organization that has the mission to distribute technology to those children in our local area who are in need. As we know, due to the pandemic, we have relied heavily on technology to deliver instruction. This organization recognized this need and independently called on the residents of Mahwah to donate technology during this time. Dr. D. Pasquale and Mr. Lockwood then prepared this donated technology for our students for use, and in conjunction with our district's tech team, we were able to deploy these devices to our students at the start of the school year. So while we have recognized Dr. D. Pasquale and Mr. Lockwood at a previous meeting, we believed it was important to highlight them when speaking of our in-district heroes of this school district as a whole, and they are both here. So if you'll come up, Dr. Fitz and I have a small token of appreciation. Rich, can you just put up the presentation so I could share with the audience what this mystery box looks like? Here you go, sir. Thank you so much. Normally, we would shake your hand. All right, so what we had made were specific plaques for each of our separate groups. God bless you. Here we had for the Mahwah Champions for the Children, Dr. D. Pasquale and Mr. Lockwood. We thank you for securing the technology that was required to help the students in Mahwah who needed it most. Because of your volunteer efforts, learning for our kids continued uninterrupted. You went out of your way, and we want you to know that you have made the difference. So thank you again. All right, and what's so great is the people that we are celebrating, they came to us, right? So Dr. D. Pasquale and Mr. Lockwood said, there is a need. Can we help? How can we help? And we made it work together. So that's been really awesome. It's very similar for those who have volunteered their time and their effort. I think most of everyone is right here in preparing and facilitating vaccination signups for our staff members. So when vaccinations were made available, appointments were fairly difficult to secure back in March. So we have one parent, one of our retirees, and 3 of our current staff members took the lead with this initiative and volunteered their time to schedule appointments for any staff members who wished to sign up. And they were able to secure approximately 150 vaccination appointments. And as many of you know, securing a vaccination appointment back in March was like getting front row tickets to one of your favorite concerts. So it required our volunteers to be up literally at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, preloading and refreshing vaccination appointment websites to secure appointments for our staff. Not only were appointments secured, but then our volunteers came up with a communication process to notify our staff members of their appointments. And there were many times where they even adjusted appointments. They did everything they could for our staff members, so thank you. So it was certainly a great reminder that we are all in this together. So we want to thank Mrs. Michelle Brannick, who is a parent in our district, Christine Zimmerman, who I hope is visiting us via Zoom. We called her several times. She's our former Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Callie Triantafilakis, who is a teacher at GW. Jenna Trian, who's also a teacher at GW, and Allie Bowden, who is a member of our child study team at Joyce Kilmer School. So if you can come up. Thank you, ladies. So in that mystery box, you'll see here it's a similar plaque with a different engraving. We thank you for your help with your calls and coordination to assist in securing vaccinations for our staff. We are in this together, and you are a true example of this sentiment. Let this be our lesson for every future school year to come. So again, thank you. All right, we're not done. All right, so we have our school nurses. And I think Dr. Schlam walked in. Is Dr. Schlam here, our district physician? There he is. Nice. Okay, so lastly, while our school nurses are critical in every school year, this year they have been so important to the everyday operations of our school buildings. While providing our crucial medical support and tender loving care, the nurses have stepped in to serve as the medical professionals that they are trained to be, guiding district decision-making, counseling families and staff, and taking the lead in unprecedented tasks such as contact tracing. Notwithstanding the current circumstances, even right now, when a medical issue arises, our nurses, as individuals and as a team, move into action to treat any emergency with expert knowledge and skilled care. Our nurses are Mawa's frontline heroes. Each of our school nurses, as the nurses in charge of their school's well-being, execute their responsibilities with professionalism, personality, and do so with powerful purpose. This year was an opportunity for our administrative team to really work as a team with our nurses like never before. And we hope this partnership transcends into school years to come. We want to thank Mary Beth Kakalewski, Hune Leem, Sue Parker, Margaret Mulder, Donna Antonello, Nancy Mertz, Debbie McGuire, and our district physician, Dr. Schlam, who has made himself available via cell phone throughout the duration of this unprecedented year. And we thank you as well. So if you can come up. And our principals wanted to give you something. Here you go.
What's the bug?
It's school nursing, the essential reference.
Some light reading.
Here, Nancy.
He's our school physician? Okay, thank you so much.
Donna's not here. Okay.
Thank you, Nancy.
No, but no.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy. All right, and we have 3 more highlights. This is quite an evening. So we have 3 principals to recommend to the Board of Education this evening. So I want to just talk through the process because it was quite an extensive one. We received 85 applications for elementary school principal, and as we know, we had 3 vacancies at each of our K-3 buildings. Over the course of 2 days, our central office team met with 45 applicants, where each presented a physical representation of their leadership style or philosophy. From these meetings, we scheduled 6 candidates to meet with a separate interview committee on Monday and Friday in early May, with a panel of administrators and a teacher representative and a parent representative from each building. In referencing our district's strategic plan, principal finalists were to prepare a building level plan, explain a specific initiative that they would introduce, and explain how they would implement and communicate this initiative to all stakeholder groups. We are proud to recommend Aixa Garcia as building principal of Betsy Ross School, and I'll introduce her before we applaud. Aixa, if you want to wave so we all know who you are. Yes. All right. Ms. Garcia comes to us with administrative experience serving as assistant principal in Morristown, West Orange Public Schools, and now in Mahwah High School. She earned her bachelor's degree in computer science from Rutgers University and NJIT, and her master's degree in educational leadership from Seton Hall University. Through the interview process, Ms. Garcia exhibited professionalism and a vision in continuing Betsy Ross School's excellence. Ms. Garcia was thoughtful in her responses and drew on her administrative experiences to navigate various leadership scenarios. It is clear that Ms. Garcia recognizes Mawa's excellence, and we are excited that she is going to be a part of that excellence in her new role. Welcome.
Thank you. Members of the board, central office administration, my administrator colleagues, Mawa community, teachers, families, and parents, I am honored to be recommended and soon appointed as principal of Betsy Ross School. I started my journey here in Mawa about a year ago, and I knew immediately that it was a special place. I think of that hashtag Mawa Connects, it's real. I saw it demonstrated almost immediately over and over again. It was something really beautiful to see. Over the past year, we've seen educators and parents and families and students come together and work through a time that we've never seen before. They have worked together, and it is, like I said, just a beautiful thing to see. I am excited to bring my experience, my passion for teaching and learning, as well as collaboration. Excited to meet parents and families and build those relationships, which is something that I love to do. And I want to just say one note to my new Betsy Ross community. I cannot wait to see what we're going to do together. And to my Betsy Ross students, I can't wait to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Aixa. Our second recommendation for George Washington School is Jennifer Globacki. Jennifer, if you want to wave. Hi, Jen. Mrs. Globacki has been in the district for the last 3 years as our supervisor of instruction, grades K through 5. Over these 3 years, Mrs. Globacki has proven her instructional expertise at the elementary school level. She earned her bachelor's degree in psychology and her master's of teaching degree in elementary education from Quinnipiac University and her master's of arts degree in educational leadership from Rampo College. Through the interview process, what became most pronounced was Mrs. Globacki's heart and her care for providing equal access to education for all students. We believe she will be a strong fit for George Washington School and that she demonstrates warmth and believes every child can achieve. Thank you.
I just want to, can you hear me? Is this working? Oh, sorry. I just want to say thank you so much to the board and to the central office and to the interview committee for believing in me and for recognizing the passion that I am hoping and going to bring to George Washington School. They say that GW is the magical little school in the woods, and it is, but it's magical because of the teachers who walk those halls and the paras and the nurse, everybody who walks those halls every single day. I've had the chance to sit in an office there and see it firsthand. But what I'm really, really excited about now is to get to connect with every single student and to see them on their journey through that school. I'm excited to partner with the parents. And I'm also like, one of the things that is the foundation of everything we're going to do is to create a culture of kindness, which is already there, a love of learning, which I know is already there, a climate of creativity and risk-taking, which is there, but I'm gonna, continue to build upon that, and that continued sense of community. I also wanna say congratulations to Aixa and Paul. I'm so excited to grow together with them in a shared partnership and a shared responsibility for all of our K-3 students and what they're going to do here in Mawa for the rest of their career and in the real world beyond. So thank you so much. Go GW team. We're gonna do great things. I can't wait.
Thanks, Jen. Our third recommendation is for Principal of Lenape Meadows School, Mr. Wyka. Mr. Wyka, could you give a, there we go. He's new here. So Mr. Wyka spent many years as a teacher, an elementary teacher for Ridgewood Public Schools at Willard Elementary. From this position, Mr. Wyka served as assistant principal for Crest Hill Public Schools and transitioned to principal of Edward H. Bryan Elementary School in that district. Mr. Wyka became interested in our school district based on the district's reputation and ultimately decided to apply. Through the interview process, Mr. Wyka showcased his expertise as it relates to elementary instruction, and he spoke of the importance of communication and being part of a collaborative school community such as Mawa. So we are really excited to welcome Mr. Wyka to our administrative team as he leads Lenape Meadows School this fall.
Thank you. I hope you don't mind. I wrote down some notes just to hopefully captures the excitement that I'm feeling about this opportunity.
That's okay.
So good evening. Thank you, President Kazmarski, and to the rest of the Board of Education for having me here tonight. To say I'm excited to be the next principal of Lenape Meadows would be an understatement. I am humbled by this opportunity and look forward to establishing a trusting working relationship with the staff and family members, and I'm really excited to get to know the students and for them to get to know me. I look forward to bringing the knowledge and experience that I've acquired in working as an educator in Ridgewood and Crest Hill over the last 20 years to help build upon the strong academic and social emotional foundation that already exists at Lenape Meadows. Over the years, in having conversations with family and friends, Mawa is always mentioned in a positive light. It has an excellent reputation, a vibrant, supportive community, and staffed with dedicated teachers. Even just recently, I have been contacted by friends who live in the community to congratulate me, and they added the following comments. We have been so happy with the school system. Pre-K program is fabulous. It's such a nurturing environment, and they have some of the most dedicated, hardworking teachers. These conversations added to my eagerness to join the Mahwah school community, and I look forward to getting to work, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Paul. I think my report is complete.
Wow, that was a good one.
If all of the people we have celebrated this evening, I would urge everyone to go home with your families and loved ones now.
I mean, you can always stay if you want. That's fine. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Give everyone a
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you.
You got to clear a room, man. Go home. Was it something you said? Oh, man. Good night, everyone. Wow. Not for nothing. I had a very important report. Everyone. Thank you so much.
I'm so sorry.
I kid.
I apologize on record.
No, it's okay. So I can cross off welcoming the new hires, since they all left. But I do welcome them. I'm very excited for all of the hires. Just a couple things on, for my report. I know there were some questions and I received some emails about the library and the pedestrian, I guess, safety issues with regards to after school, Ridge Road, things like that, from Rampo Ridge, traffic and kids crossing, cars going in and out, high speeds and U-turning legally. Met out there this week with Dr. DeToro, members of the Mawa Police Department, as well as the Township Engineer, just to kind of review the area. I was there in my capacity as the administrator, but I'm also still the Board of Ed president, as I always say. Looking at some just very quick and easy things we can do, and we did them already. We cut down some brush and whatnot on township property, exiting the library, kind of improving the line of sight. We're going to do some striping in the roadway with regards to kind of a do not block the box, so people going north and southbound realize that there's a active driveway there. We are in discussions with the PD with regards to some sort of, if not crossing guard, some alternative to a crossing guard. Those are in discussions. We're going to see if we can get something done in the next, we only have 3 or 4 weeks left of school. But overall, they're just very minor improvements that I think, and very low cost improvements that I think will really help with the issue. And again, like most things on Ridge Road these days, it's a 15 to 20 minute issue. It is Ridge letting out, is the cars lined up, it's people coming in and out of the library. So I think we'll have a decent solution there for now. And obviously we'll revisit it in the fall once we get back to some normalcy in our scheduling. With regards to the traffic light, which I hear about every day, the reprogramming of the light will be done late next week. We're going to add the delayed green, left arrow, and a whole bunch of other very intuitive programming that they're doing nowadays with regards to lights, light cycles that it's kind of like self-learning using the camera. So it hopefully will alleviate some issues. And I know it'll be in, only a couple weeks of relief, but at least it'll be there for going forward. And overnight, it'll also blink from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I just wanted to point out, as I want to do, is class of '93, always representing here in town. Sarah Gazinski, teacher here in Mawa High School, also runs the Habitat for Humanity Club. Did a really great thing at the library with some of the elementary kids and the library kids. They put up thank you posters to our teachers and our educators in town. It was just a really nice gesture. And I wanted to thank her and point out she also graduated here in 1993. So go us. With regards to all the hiring tonight, I just personally want to thank the administrative staff. That was, especially Dennis Fair. That was a replenishment of that many people at one time in that short of time, still while dealing with the pandemic and all of the issues with COVID. Is just a testament to your work ethic, your love of this district, and what we're trying to do here. And you and the team should just be commended for the amount of work that went into that. We replaced, 3 principals in one shot, and quality candidates at that, and everyone else. So you guys should be commended for the work you've done.
Thank you.
And not just with that, but throughout this entire year. So, and that's my report. So thank you very much. Board committee reports. Mr. Gallo.
The Finance and Facilities Committee met last week briefly via Zoom to discuss the some capital projects and maintenance projects that will be undertaken over the next few months over the summer and sometime next year. And we plan to kick off our review of long-term facility needs that arose out of our land engineering study of the buildings sometime in the summer. So we have a busy facilities agenda coming up. There's many projects that will be undertaken at the district level this year. And I think you're going to see a lot of improvements and repairs that will enhance our learning experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Morthy.
I'm going to give a little time to Dr. DeToro. He'd like to say a few words.
Just to speak to the curriculum and instruction, I know a couple of these things were touched upon, but if I could just have a minute to explain even more. At previous board meetings, we talked about the end of the year activities and rituals, and they have begun. JK welcomed our 3rd graders this week. to walk them through the school and welcome them to their new experience. So that was a very special moment, especially having their student council welcome them outside and the different music that was playing to really make them feel comfortable in their next chapter of their life. Our Rampo Ridge administrative team, as well as student council and teachers, welcomed our fifth graders to provide the same experience, allowing them to understand what this environment's going to be all about. It's going to be a successful journey, and welcome them with open arms. I know Dr. Fitz spoke about this briefly along the lines of the sunrise with the seniors. This ritual, as well as the signs that were delivered to our seniors yesterday, is a very special experience for our seniors, both this year and last year. I really want to commend John Pascal and the teachers here in Mahwah High School for really committing themselves to thinking outside of the box and creating moments for our students that really allows this year to be special. They have really overcome a lot of different challenges that we never had to deal with when we were seniors. And I'm really proud of them, the students, and the staff have walked alongside of them throughout the entire journey. So I just want to say thank you to John, as well as the teachers, because they have gone above and beyond. And for them to be able to deliver 240 signs to our seniors yesterday, and to see the pictures, and hopefully you can go online and see the excitement that our seniors have of seeing their teachers come to them and come to their house, is something truly special. So thank you so much to them. Another very special experience that I'm really proud to share with the board and the community is really a product of Danielle Polway, Kim Loesch, our math teacher at Mawa High School, and Jen Globacki. They came together and they wanted to create an experience that allowed our K-5 students to connect with our high school students. Now, as we all know, there's challenges with COVID and things like that, so they got creative. What they were able to do, the Mu Alpha Theta Math Honor Society students put together T-Bird home challenger kits. Within those kits, there were different STEAM activities. It ranged from robotics, binary code, origami, and music instrument creation. The exciting part about this is 200 students signed up, K through 5. And what happened is our Math Honor Society students created videos modeling what this experience should look like. So they served as a lead through this QR code that opened up to a YouTube that our model students were able to really showcase what to do. But further, our Mawa High School teachers created videos too to create excitement for our students. So we're constantly trying to look for opportunities to connect our elementary students to our high school learning experience. And this is just one of many activities to come that allowed this to happen. So we are going to have a Padlet, which is an online, let's just say bulletin board, that our students are gonna take part in these home learning activities and post them online. And we'll be able to share them with the board and with the community in the coming weeks. But we're just really excited that the team, the students, the teachers, the administration really stepped outside of the box to make learning special outside of our school walls. So we just wanted to say thank you to that. And last but not least, I know Mr. Fair spoke about the Mindful Mawa initiative. That Mindful Mawa initiative was created by our Mindful Committee, which consists of Nikki Van Ness, Danielle Polway, Suzanne Whalen. They partnered with Ruth. They were able to gather all the materials that we've used over the last 4 years and create a space that our students, our teachers, and now our community can go to and utilize over time. So we'll be sending an email out to our staff tomorrow. We'll also be sending out an email to our community to talk them through this website because our community has access to it. Ruth was nice enough to make a video to model how to get through it, what it entails, and things like that. So these are just some of the exciting things that we've been doing throughout this year, and we will continue to do next year. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I also just wanted to, because I haven't been here actually for the last couple meetings, just congratulate, and I thought she might be here, Dr. Bovino Romeo for, acquiring the position of being our new chairperson for instruction and curriculum, and look forward to working with her. Just haven't had an opportunity to say that. So look forward to working with Dr. Bivino with that. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Anyone else down this side?
It's okay, Dennis. We forgot.
Anyone over here? Brett? Mr. Cobb.
Okay, community corner time. Recently, the high school hosted their art show, so congratulations to all the students who participated in that. The senior gala committee is currently doing some fundraising to raise money for the senior gala, so please get out there and support them. I think they have their online auction going on right now. They had some pretty cool items on there. Along the lines of what Dr. DeTuro just mentioned, I want to thank all the staff members who are working so hard to making sure that our in-person rites of passage events are happening. They are happening. There are some volunteers that are involved in some of these too, so thank you for stepping up to help with that as well. And I'm very excited to see what we could do over the next 3-4 weeks. Couple more things. June is Pride Month. Pride Month is annually celebrated in June. Pride Month commemorates the riots at the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village, which occurred at the end of June in 1969. These events ultimately led to the gay liberation movement and the 20th century fight for LGBTQ rights in the United States. Of course, Monday is Memorial Day, and Mawa will be having their annual parade, which will take place at 10 a.m. It steps off from the Immaculate Heart of Mary parking lot. I guess that's on Island. And we'll continue to Veterans Park for a remembrance ceremony. Let's not forget the true meaning of Memorial Day. It's not just another day off from school or from work. It's the day that we can remember those that made the ultimate sacrifice for the freedom that we enjoy every day. So on Monday, please take a moment to remind your children what Memorial Day is truly about. And when you see a veteran, please thank them for their service. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Board member remarks, additional comments? Mr. Gallo.
I just want to echo what Brett said about the art show. For the last number of years, the high school has been sponsoring an art and craft show, if you will, highlighting the artistic and performing capabilities of our students at the high school. And unfortunately, due to the pandemic, it was canceled, I think, last year, curtailed this year, but came back in some form this year. And I had the opportunity on Saturday to drop by the senior art show and also to see the woodworking projects that our woodworking students have done. Every single year I go, the furniture, the craftsmanship is better and better and better. The 2 new staff members who run that department are incredibly enthusiastic, creative, and passionate about what they do, and their students obviously are connected with them. I just want to thank all the staff that was involved in putting the show together, and I want to thank all the students for sharing their creativity, their imagination, and artwork with our community. Unfortunately, it was not very well publicized, but I think it's still up in the cube. I don't know how you can go see it, if you can break into the building, but there's some really cool stuff in there. There's, it's every year I am amazed by our students' work. This year there was a lot of digital media work, and I came from the 20th century. This 21st century tools that our students have today are incredible, and they have opportunities to express themselves that are remarkable, and they have taken every advantage of those tools. I also want to thank Kevin Ulmer. Unfortunately, he's not here. Linda Zaccone and I had the opportunity to visit GW this afternoon.
Yes.
Kevin was gracious enough to spend about an hour or so with us today, showcasing the George Washington School. It's more than just a little school in the woods. It's a true learning center for our young students entering the Mawa School District. The rooms we saw are bright, big, beautiful, and have books and learning materials and the students' artwork in the rooms. It was a real pleasure to see that. Even in a pandemic world, our students were still doing the things that K-3 students do.
And I would just like to add, if there's any scout out there who's looking for a potential Eagle project, we thought that the courtyard could use some work. Landscaping could be spruced up. We were imagining maybe a mural on the brickwork. So there's some possibilities there if any student is looking for his future Eagle Scout project. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Other board member remarks? No? All right, seeing none, moving on. Old business. We have to approve the minutes of May 5th, 2021. Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion? Ms. Conoco and Mr. Copland. Mr. Bleeker?
Dr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Saccone,
Yes.
Mr. Copland,
Yes.
Mr. De Silva, Mr. Denise,
Yes.
Mr. Gallo,
Yes.
Ms. Conoco,
Yes.
Dr. Morphy,
Yes.
and Mr. Kazmarski.
Yes. Okay, new business. Bear with me 1 second. All right. New business, we have resolution 17A through V. Can I get a motion, please? Mr. Gallo, seconded by Mr. Denise. Roll call.
Dr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Saccone,
Yes.
Mr. Copland,
Yes, but on 17B, I'm abstaining on checks number 102671 and 102736.
thank you. Mr. De Silva,
Yes.
Mr. Denise,
Yes.
Mr. Gallo,
Yes, except on 17B, I am abstaining from check 102657 and 102726.
thank you. Ms. Conoco,
Yes.
Dr. Morphy,
Yes.
and Mr. Kazmarski.
Yes. Item 18, new business, personnel. I have resolutions A through ZZ. Can I please get a motion? Mrs. Cohn, seconded by Ms. Conoco. Roll call, please.
I would like just to echo Mr. Kazmarski's remarks and gratitude for the entire team in working so diligently to find excellent and passionate educators for our students who will be with our district for a long time. The care and effort put into this is something is just unimaginable. And we have had, over the last number of years under Dennis's guidance, we've had a very good success in attracting and retaining some of the top flight staff in Bergen County and Northern New Jersey, for which we are very, very proud and grateful. And I just wanted to express my thanks for that.
I'm going to agree. We've got 13 pages of appointments and hires, and that's impressive. That's even longer than your report.
I fully expect the unemployment figures in Bergen County to go down by 2 points.
Great. Where were they?
Thank you, Dennis and team.
Was that?
Thank you.
Are you gonna roll call or are they giving?
No, I needed to roll.
Okay.
Roll call on 18A through ZZ. Dr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Saccone,
Yes.
Mr. Copland,
Yes.
Mr. De Silva,
Yes.
Mr. Denise,
Yes.
Mr. Gallo,
Yes.
Ms. Conoco,
Yes.
Dr. Morphy,
Yes.
and Mr. Kazmarski.
Yes. Okay, number 19, public questions or comment. Public participation at board meetings is in accordance with bylaw 0167. At this time, members of the public may ask questions or make comments on educational issues or school matters of community interest. As a matter of fairness, you are asked to limit your questions to no more than one and your remarks to no longer than 3 minutes. If you are here representing a group, please identify yourself, the group, and your position in the group. If you are here as an individual, please give us your name and address. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes. Can I please get a motion to open to the public? Mr. De Silva, seconded by Mr. Cohn. All right, we are now open to the public. Okay, if you can just step up to the microphone, name and address, please, for the record.
Hi, my last name is Goltz. I'm a resident of Mawa, and I brought my daughter with me. I really just want to speak to what guidance is being followed regarding the masking of the children, because there have been a lot of complaints from parents about the health effects of the children during the days. Obviously, summertime is coming, it's getting very hot. And I just want to know, are there any are you making headway as far as maybe come September about possibly taking the masks off the kids? Or whose guidance are you following when it comes to that?
So we are following the most updated guidance, right? So we still are bound by Executive Order 149, 175, and 237, which requires masks in school.
Is that Murphy's
Mhm,
executive
yeah.
orders? Well, you realize that he doesn't have the sole authority to mask our children. So, I mean, I'm very much against that. So I don't know what more people need to see other than, children are getting sick. My daughter has rhinitis and she couldn't participate in school today and was told that unless she has quarantined, that she couldn't participate on airtime, which was very disappointing. I mean, I love our schools. I love our teachers, but at some point, are we gonna wear these things forever? You don't have an answer to that, obviously, and I know I'm not asking you, but this is a very serious issue. I know you get it, but I'm just making this comment, that's my comment.
Thank you for your comment, and I appreciate it greatly. And unfortunately, our governor was on TV as late as yesterday, saying that come September, we'll still be wearing masks in school. And hopefully the guidance changes over the summer. I truly do. So, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jennifer Howard. I reside at 7 Farmstead Road, and I have 3 children in the school district. I have an 11th grader who attends Mawa High School. I have a 7th grader who attends Ramapo Ridge Middle School, and I have a 3rd grader who attends Lenape Meadows. My concern right now with mask wearing, I know it's still fresh that, the governor is starting to lift some of the rules. And I know to echo her, no, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. So my friend over here, to echo her sentiments, I think we're ready. I don't think we're ready yet to be fully unmasked all the time. There's one thing I really do want you to consider for right now. As the temperature is getting hotter, these children are being asked to go outside to participate in physical education. It is 77 to 85 degrees. I drive past Ramapo Ridge Middle School, and there's children in masks on blacktop playing hockey. I also see children going on walks outside in the fresh air that still have masks on, and I want to know why. If the kids are asked to be socially distanced and they are outside, I don't understand why they still need to wear masks. So kids wearing masks is actually making them sick at this point. There was a comment made on one of the Facebook pages, and although this doesn't pertain to my child, this does pertain to a child in the district, where the child participated in gym class and was home for 2 days with a headache because of it. So by doing this, we're making our kids sicker. So maybe we can look at the gym activities that we're doing outside and give these kids a mask break. If they're maintaining social distance and they're outside, there's no reason why they need to keep masks on. Now for tomorrow, there's actually field day at Lenape Meadows School. And my 3rd grader, who's normally very excited for field day, is excited that it's actually happening at school, but now he's worried because he has to wear a mask. And all the activities are going to be socially distanced with the kids 6 feet apart. There's no reason why they need to be outside in 77 to 80 degree weather with masks on when they're outside the building. I can totally understand, when they go into the building, they should have masks on. But once they're outside, at this point, can we agree that if we're being socially distant and we're outside in the fresh air, we could take our masks off for a minute and let these kids be kids? Because I think it's gone on far long enough, don't you? Would you like it if your child came home from gym class and had a headache for 2 days? Doesn't make sense to me. So maybe we can look at different things that we can do during gym class where kids are not close, that they can be socially distant, and we can give them that 45 minutes in the fresh air without their masks on. Now, I know this is something that's not going to be corrected overnight, but I'd really would like you to consider looking at it so that we can finish out the year and all breathe some fresh air. That's all I'm asking. So could you please take a look at that? That's all I'm asking. All right?
Thank you so much. Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Mrs. Howard. Along the lines of that, I totally agree. With the weather getting warmer, it's definitely something that masks are challenging. This is something that we met with our PE team last week. We started to speak about changing up the different activities that they're doing outside, also monitoring the weather, being that as it gets hotter out, it becomes more and more challenging. We spoke to them about providing our students with opportunities to take mask breaks if they are socially distant. We also talked about when there are times outside that they can't take mask breaks, when they're coming together to come inside, go back outside, or if they're taking part in an activity that they're going to be coming together within 6 feet. But please know, you're absolutely right. This is not something that we can change overnight, but please know that we're committed to continuing to move forward. We're continuing to look for opportunities to create space and air for our students to be able to be comfortable with this current reality that we're in. As Mr. Kaczmarski said, the governor spoke about masks probably being our reality next year, specific to vaccines and who has access. But we are looking at every opportunity to allow our students creative ways to bring their mask down. That's also going to be a focus for us next year as we increase our instructional time, being that our goal is to make sure that we're in every day, all day. So those are conversations that have happened, and they'll continue to happen. So
For next year, I can't speak to homeschooling itself, but I know from the governor's words, there'll be no opportunity for remote learning as we sit here now. When I say that could change, that could change. You saw this past week, we had a travel advisory that was one way one day and changed within 48 hours. So while he's saying certain things about next fall, I think we'll have more guidance come probably mid-July, I hope. I hope that guidance sticks through the beginning of September. So they'll have more information on that over the summer, I'm sure. Thank you so much.
Hello, Lou Theodoro, 1 Hour Now Place. Echoing what Mr. Kaczmarski just said, the guidance does change very quickly. The original guidance from Governor Murphy last July was actually to have the kids not masked in school. It's going to be optional. And that changed pretty quick. I mean, Dr. Toro's not saying that is a fact. That changed quickly after some intervention by third parties. And then they came up with the road back, which Mr. Fair and I've had emails going back and forth, and he mentioned the road back. I took the liberty of reading the document. It's 104 pages of mess, contradicting guidance, impossible to follow guidance, a lot of you should or you could, or a lot of you could, but not a lot of you should or you have to, making it, and I know you're kind of getting hammered by a lot of different people, but it's, for you to follow the guidance that you've been given, it's very, very difficult, especially on a budget. But originally, masks were not to be worn by, or would be optional by the kids, because there are no long-term scientific studies on the masking of children, especially young children, on their social, psychological, emotional development, on not be able to see facial cues, not be able to interpret non-spoken communication, that type of thing. And now it's tough because, according to the guidance right now, there's only 10 circumstances where you can have the kids take the mask off. And I've spoken with Mr. Fair about that, and Dr. Fitz about that as well. What's happening now, and what you've done, is you've allowed, at the teacher's discretion, for masks to be removed outside. But what's happening is the quote-unquote nice teachers are allowing the students to take their masks off, and the more hardcore ones are not. So we're looking for something more across the board. I've spoken with Senator Shapizi's office about this. It's her feeling that it's not at the discretion of the teacher. It's at the discretion of the student. If they don't want to wear the mask while outside, they wouldn't need to. You mentioned the 3 executive orders that Governor Murphy put out, one of which pertains to taking masks off outside. And she specifically called the governor for guidance on that. And the governor office got back to her and said that masking outside of schools is not mandatory, even though schools are not going to be subjected to the unmasking of people tomorrow. The masking of students outside, or of anybody outside for that matter, because I know this is, for example, is a completely masked campus, that is not required. And I just want you guys to be aware of what that is and to see if you come up with some sort of more continuity so that the kids outside are not really at the mercy of whether they have a nice teacher or not a nice teacher. That being said, I know it's tough, and I'm hoping next year. I mean, take it broader. This is what herd immunity looks like, where you go from a lot of cases to the cases starting to dwindle down, and hopefully, God willing, it will continue to happen, and this becomes a moot point next September if there's very, very few cases. So hopefully that's what happens. But for the rest of the year, we're just looking for more straight continuity around on the teachers that are enforcing what's going on. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Public comments? All right, can I get a motion to close? Mr. Gallo, seconded by Mr. Cohn. Thank you very much. Bear with me 1 second. Let me get it. Bless you. At this time, we will move to executive session for matters of confidential matters, personnel matters, confidential student matters. I don't believe we'll take any action coming out of that, so in effect for the public, the meeting is over. Can I please get a motion to go into closed session? Mr. Cohn, seconded by Ms. Conoco. Thank you very much, everyone.